Good morning, everybody. I am Dr. Nitin Joshi, Professor in Urology with teaching experience of 25 years, working as consultant neurosurgeon in Panvel. In last lecture on acid-base balance, we have seen that phosphate buffer and bicarbonate buffer are the most important buffers in our body. Bone is a specialized connective tissue and is made up of three specialized bone cells and intercellular bone matrix. This intercellular bone matrix is made up of organic bone matrix and inorganic bone matrix. The inorganic bone matrix is also called as bone mineral salt. The main salt of bone mineral salt is calcium phosphate, which is typically present in form of hydroxyapatite crystals. The smaller amount of salts present in bone mineral salt are calcium bicarbonate, sodium bicarbonate, potassium bicarbonate or magnesium bicarbonate. These bone mineral salts act as fixed bases or buffers in chronic acidotic conditions. In chronic acidotic conditions like renal tubular acidosis, H plus ions donated by acid is buffered or absorbed by these bone mineral salts, which act as the fixed bases or the fixed buffers like calcium phosphate or calcium bicarbonate. This results into the osteoporosis due to demineralization and decalcification of bone. Also, it results into hypercalcemia with hypercalciuria. Osteoporosis resulting from demineralization and decalcification of bone is one of the components of renal osteodystrophy. Now, how to determine the acid-base status of extracellular fluid? It is difficult to determine the acid-base status of extracellular fluid directly. So, the acid-base status of extracellular fluid is determined indirectly by Henderson-Hasselbalch equation, and according to this equation, pH is equal to pKa plus log of bicarbonate divided by carbon dioxide. pK is pH constant, where the buffer has got maximum buffering capacity and the buffer substance is present 50% in ionized particles while 50% is present in unionized particles. pH of or the pKa for the bicarbonate ion is 6.1, and so the equation becomes pH is equal to 6.1 plus log of bicarbonate divided by carbon dioxide. In previous lecture, we have seen that bicarbonate buffer is the most important buffer in our body. The two components of bicarbonate buffer are bicarbonate ion and carbon dioxide. Both these components are regulated by two different systems. That is, bicarbonate ion is regulated by kidney, while the carbon dioxide concentration in plasma is regulated by lungs, and both these systems are working continuously and synergistically. The ratio of acids to plasma is constant and is 1:20. That is, 1 part is contributed by carbonic acid is to 20 parts of bicarbonate ion. If this ratio alters, then even blood pH changes either to acidosis or alkalosis. Normal blood pH is 7.38 to 7.42 with average of 7.4. So if the pH is less than 7.4, it is acidosis, and if it is more than 7.4, it is considered as alkalosis. Clinically, in order to define whether metabolic acidosis, alkalosis or respiratory acidosis, respiratory alkalosis, we do arterial blood gas, where we find pH, PCO2, which determines the bicarbonic acid because CO2 dissolves in water to form carbonic acid, and bicarbonate ion. The amount of bicarbonate ion determines whether it is the metabolic acidosis, or if the pH is less, then it may be the respiratory acidosis, where there will be PCO2 will be raised. While in case of metabolic acidosis, bicarbonate level will be decreased. So metabolic acidosis or metabolic alkalosis, it is the bicarbonate ion, while whether it is respiratory acidosis or respiratory alkalosis, it is the PCO2 which gives the information regarding respiratory acidosis or respiratory alkalosis. Now we'll see the renal regulation of acid-base balance. Though renal regulation of acid-base balance is most important and powerful of all the three regulatory systems of acid-base balance, still these renal regulation mechanism takes few hours to a day or even more so as to adjust the blood pH, that is adjust the H plus ion concentration in plasma. And so renal regulation of acid base balance is not useful for rapid adjustment of blood pH, but it is useful for the finer adjustment of blood pH. Whenever there is washout of one molecule of carbon dioxide during exhalation, it is equivalent to excretion of one H plus ion. In normal physiological respiration, daily washout of carbon dioxide is equivalent to excretion of 13,000 millimoles of H plus ion in the exhalation. However, these are the volatile acids. The non-volatile acids or the fixed acids cannot be excreted by lungs and hence has to be excreted by kidney in urine. In addition, various metabolic processes, there is daily 60 to 100 milliequivalents of excess acid production or alkali production. And in order that person should survive, the blood pH should be maintained normal, and hence the important role of renal regulation of acid-base balance, which is by three mechanisms. One, that is H plus ion secretion by renal tubular cells in the tubular lumen. Second, that is reabsorption of filtered bicarbonate ions, and third, generation of new bicarbonate ion. To simplify the renal regulation of acid-base balance, it is divided into two parts, that is the proximal tubular mechanism, and second, that is distal tubular mechanism. In proximal tubular mechanism, there are two components, and that is one, that is reabsorption of filtered bicarbonate ion, and second, that is generation of ammonium ion. While in the distal part of the nephron, the two components for the regulation of acid-base balance are one, that is reabsorption of remaining bicarbonate ion, and second, that is regeneration of new bicarbonate ion by the distal nephron. The regeneration of new bicarbonate ion by the distal nephron is simultaneously coupled with the secretion of H plus ion by the intercalated cells. These H plus ions which are secreted by intercalated cell type A has to be buffered, and they are buffered in the distal nephron by the phosphate buffer, or also called titrable acidity and ammonia buffer. Glomerular filtrate is actually ultrafiltrate of the plasma. That is, glomerular filtrate contains all the substances which are normally dissolved in plasma except large molecular weight substances like albumin, RBC, WBC, and the substances attached to albumin. Since phosphate ions and the bicarbonate ions are present in plasma, they are filtered at the level of glomerulus, and hence they are present in the glomerular filtrate. So the bicarbonate buffer and the phosphate buffer plays an important role. Bicarbonate buffer plays an important role in the proximal part of the nephron, while phosphate buffer plays an important role in the distal part of the nephron. We have seen that kidney maintains the acid-base balance by secretion of H plus ions by the renal tubular cells in the tubular lumen. However, only small amount of H plus ion can be excreted as it is, that is, only small amount of H plus ion can be excreted as unbuffered. This is because this unbuffered H plus ion then immediately combines with the chloride ion present in the tubular lumen so as to form HCl, which is a strong acid. And whenever there is formation of strong acid, there is sudden fall of pH of tubular fluid to 4.5. And when the pH of tubular fluid falls to 4.5, then the further secretion of H plus ion by tubular cells in the tubular lumen stops. This is because once the pH of tubular fluid reaches 4.5, whatever further H plus ion secreted by the tubular cells in the tubular lumen undergoes back diffusion. In short, there is no further H plus ion secretion. And in order that the kidney should continue to function so as to maintain the normal blood pH, it is essential to excrete the H plus ion so that the blood pH will be maintained, because there will be new generation of bicarbonate ion. But at the same time, the pH of the tubular fluid should not fall below 4.5, and so whatever H plus ion which is filtered or which is secreted has to be buffered, and three buffers which come in picture in the kidney are bicarbonate buffer, titrable acetate mainly in form of phosphate buffer, and ammonia buffer. In previous lecture we have seen that buffer is a mixture of two solutions containing a weak acid and its strong salt with strong base. These buffer, they prevent the drastic change in the pH of the solution in spite of addition of acid or alkali to the solution. This is because when acid is added to a solution, then the H plus ion will be absorbed by the buffer, while when the alkali is added to the solution, then hydroxyl group will be absorbed by the buffer so as to prevent the drastic change in the pH of the solution. The buffering capacity of any buffer depends upon one, that is concentration of the buffer, and second, that is pK, that is the pH constant at which the buffer shows maximum buffering capacity. The bicarbonate buffer has maximum concentration in the proximal part of the nephron, and hence bicarbonate buffer plays an important role in the proximal part of the nephron. Daily, about 4,000 to 5,000 milliequivalents of bicarbonate are filtered at the level of glomerulus in the glomerular filtrate. Out of the total, about 85 to 95% of the bicarbonate ions are reabsorbed in the proximal part of the nephron. That is, 80% is reabsorbed in the proximal converted tubule, while 10 to 15% of the bicarbonate is absorbed in the thick ascending limb of Henle. However, in proximal part of the nephron, the apical membrane of the tubular cells is not permeable to the intact bicarbonate ion. That is, intact bicarbonate ion cannot be absorbed in the proximal part of the nephron. But the process of reabsorption of bicarbonate in the proximal part of the nephron is like reclamation, which is possible due to presence of brush border epithelium in proximal part of the nephron. And this brush border is rich in carbonic anhydrase type 2, which is in addition to the presence of normal carbonic anhydrase enzyme in the tubular cells. And so this brush border epithelium and rich carbonic anhydrase in this brush border epithelium allows the reclamation, that is absorption of bicarbonate in form of carbon dioxide. Normally in the tubular cell, carbon dioxide formed in the cellular metabolism. This carbon dioxide combines with water in presence of carbonic anhydrase type 2 to form carbonic acid, which is very unstable, which dissociates into H plus ion and bicarbonate ion in the tubular cell. Now this H plus ion which is formed in the tubular cell is secreted in the proximal part of the nephron, particularly with the help of sodium hydrogen exchanger NHE. So the H plus ion and bicarbonate ion, of that H plus ion is secreted and sodium is reabsorbed from the tubular lumen, while now there is H plus ion in the tubular lumen as well as bicarbonate which is filtered, plus this presence of brush border epithelium which is rich in carbonic anhydrase. Because of this, there will be reaction between the H plus ion which is secreted plus bicarbonate ion which is filtered, resulting into formation of carbonic acid which is very unstable. In presence of carbonic anhydrase of the brush border epithelium, it dissociates into carbon dioxide and water. Carbon dioxide being lipid soluble, it passes through the lipid layer of the cell membrane of the apical cells of the proximal converted tubule, and thus the process of absorption of bicarbonate in the proximal part of the nephron is in the form of carbon dioxide, that is process of reclamation. However, this process of reabsorption of bicarbonate and the secretion of H plus ion, still the H plus ion whatever is secreted, it does not result into the net excretion of or the secretion of acid from the body, because whatever H plus ion which is secreted in the tubular lumen is used for the titration of the filtered bicarbonate, which results into the fall of pH of the tubular fluid from 7.4 to 6.7. So the mechanism of secretion of H plus ion in the proximal part of the nephron is described as high capacity low gradient. High capacity because huge volumes of H plus ions are secreted by proximal part of the nephron. However, these huge volumes of H plus ions are used for titration, and so in spite of huge volumes of H plus ion, the fall of pH of tubular fluid is only slight from 7.4 to 6.7, and hence it is called as the low gradient. H plus ion, which is secreted from the proximal part of the nephron, can also be buffered by the phosphate buffer as well as ammonia buffer, but that buffering is insignificant, very small contribution, and so in the proximal part of the nephron it is the bicarbonate buffer which plays a major role. We have seen that in the renal tubular cells, from the carbonic acid there is formation of H plus ion which is secreted in the tubular lumen, while bicarbonate ion is remaining, and this bicarbonate ion is now reabsorbed from the basolateral membrane into peritubular capillaries with the help of sodium bicarbonate co-transporter or symporter. This sodium bicarbonate symporter is electrogenic, that is, when one molecule of sodium is reabsorbed, 3 molecules of bicarbonate are reabsorbed. Now, the distal tubular mechanism, we have seen that one, that is reabsorption of remaining part of the bicarbonate, but major part role is by the regeneration of new bicarbonate ion, and regeneration of new bicarbonate ion in the distal nephron is coupled with the simultaneous secretion of H plus ion in the lumen by the special type of cells called intercalated cells type A. These special intercalated cells are present in the distal part of the nephron, mainly the collecting tubule and the collecting duct. The studies have shown that there are 2 types of the intercalated cells, that is intercalated cell type A and type B. The intercalated cell type A is responsible for secretion of H plus ion in the tubular lumen, thus causing acidification of urine with simultaneous absorption of the bicarbonate in the general circulation, and thus there will be regeneration of bicarbonate and maintenance of normal bicarbonate level of blood, and so it is useful in the normal physiological process as well as in the metabolic acidotic condition. While the intercalated cell type 2, that is type B, is responsible for secretion of the bicarbonate in the tubular lumen, causing alkalinization of urine and simultaneous absorption of H plus ion from the basolateral side in the general circulation of the H plus ion. Absorption of H plus ion will result into lowering of the blood pH, and so it comes in action in the metabolic alkalosis. The studies have shown that both the type of cells show the same enzyme carbonic anhydrase. It shows the same reaction, that is carbon dioxide plus water in presence of carbonic anhydrase. There will be formation of carbonic acid which is very unstable, which dissociates into H plus ion and bicarbonate ion. So the reaction is same, even though there is secretion of H plus ion or bicarbonate ion, and the remaining ion then will be reabsorbed through the basolateral membrane into peritubular capillaries. The pumps which are responsible for transport mechanism which are responsible for the secretion of H plus ion or bicarbonate ion and reabsorption of H plus ion or bicarbonate from the basolateral side, they are same, only there is reversal of polarity or change in the position of the transport mechanism. In case of intercalated cell type A, which is functioning in the normal physiology and in metabolic acidosis, there is presence of the proton pump, that is H-ATPase, and hydrogen potassium ATPase on the luminal side. So the H plus ion is secreted by the intercalated cell type A into the tubular lumen, resulting into acidification of urine. In case of proton pump, along with H plus, there will be secretion of chloride so as to maintain the electroneutrality, while in case of type B, with the secretion of H plus ion, there will be absorption of the potassium, so there is exchange of hydrogen and potassium so as to maintain the electroneutrality. So this type of intercalated cell A is responsible for even reabsorption of the potassium. So the overall effect in case of intercalated cell type A is from the lumen, from the luminal side, the secretion of H plus ion So addition of H plus ion in the tubular fluid resulting into acidification of urine, while from the basolateral side there is absorption of bicarbonate ion, and this results into raising the bicarbonate, lowering the blood pH, and this absorption is because of the presence of what is called chloride bicarbonate exchanger. So the difference in case of proximal and distal part of the nephron is that in case of the proximal nephron, the secretion of H plus ion is because of sodium hydrogen exchanger, while in case of distal nephron, the H plus ion is secreted in the lumen because of the proton pump or the hydrogen potassium ATPase. In the proximal part of the nephron, the absorption of the bicarbonate is with the sodium bicarbonate symporter, while absorption of bicarbonate in case of distal nephron is because of the chloride bicarbonate exchanger. Now in case of intercalated type B, where it is secretion of bicarbonate, so the reaction is same, where carbonic acid is formed and this carbonic acid is dissociates into H plus ion bicarbonate, but because of the presence of chloride bicarbonate exchanger on the luminal side, there will be secretion of bicarbonate in the lumen causing alkalinization of the tubular fluid, while the presence of proton pump on the basolateral side causing addition of the H plus ion in the general circulation, thus lowering the blood pH to normal. Thus, the kidney plays an important role in maintenance of acid-base balance by excreting more acidic urine in metabolic acidosis, while or even the respiratory acidosis, while in case of the alkalosis, the kidney is responsible for excreting the alkaline urine. Now, in case of the distal nephron, what we have seen that there is regeneration of new bicarbonate ion due to secretion of H plus ion. But whatever secreted H plus ion by intercalated cell, that H plus ion has to be buffered so as to keep the pH of the tubular fluid above 4.5, because if the pH of tubular fluid reaches 4.5, any further H plus ion secretion by the intercalated cell in the lumen will go back diffusion. So in order that the pH of the blood is maintained, the excess H plus ion should be excreted, and this distal nephron is responsible for the net acid excretion. Though the volume of H plus ion secreted by the distal nephron is much lesser as compared to the proximal nephron, it is responsible for acidification of urine and net excretion of H plus ion. But this H plus ion which is secreted has to be buffered by the titrable acid, which is mainly by the phosphate buffer, and second, that is the ammonia buffer. So comes the role of the phosphate buffer. Now the secreted H plus ion will be buffered by the phosphate buffer in the distal part of the nephron. The phosphate is filtered at the level of glomerulus, but about 60 to 70% of the phosphate is reabsorbed in the proximal part of the nephron. In spite of that, it acts as an efficient buffer in the distal part of the nephron, that is in distal convoluted tubule, because buffering capacity of any buffer depends upon one, that is concentration of the buffer, and second, pKa of the buffer, that is the pH constant at which the buffer shows maximum buffering capacity. Now in case of the proximal part of the tubule, that is in proximal convoluted tubule, 65% of the water undergoes passive reabsorption, that is obligatory water reabsorption by diffusion, while the 10 to 15% of the water is reabsorbed along the descending limb of the loop of Henle due to presence of aquaporin water channels. This results into increased concentration of the phosphate buffer. Also, in the proximal part of the nephron, about 80 to 95% of the bicarbonate is reabsorbed. This results into the fall of the pH of the tubular fluid from 7.4 to 6.7, and pKa of the phosphate is 6.8, which is very closer to the pH which is reached, and so the phosphate acts as a powerful buffer in the distal convoluted tubule. So this, by definition, any buffer is a mixture of the weak acid and a salt with strong base. So the weak acid is monosodium dihydrogen phosphate and its salt is disodium monohydrogen phosphate. So whenever this the strong acid which is secreted, this H plus ion which is secreted in the tubular lumen by intercalated cell will be absorbed by the phosphate buffer, so that the strong acid will be converted into the weak acid, that is monosodium dihydrogen phosphate, which is a weak acid and will result into very minimal change in the tubular fluid. This weak acid will be excreted in urine as a titrable acidity. Titrable acidity is defined as the amount of alkali to be added to urine so as to raise the pH of the urine same as that of the plasma. Normally, the major contribution of the titrable acidity is by phosphate buffer, but it can be contributed even by keto acids, which is commonly seen in the severe diabetic ketoacidosis. And the main component of the keto acids is beta hydroxybutyric acid. Whenever there are diabetic ketoacidosis or ketoacidosis from any reason, then beta hydroxybutyric acid dissociates, that is, it donates H plus ion and gets converted into beta hydroxybutyric, which is an anion. Due to presence of high amount of beta hydroxybutyric anion in the plasma, it will be filtered at the level of glomerulus, and this beta hydroxybutyric anion in the distal part of the converted tubule or in the collecting tubule and the collecting duct, the H plus ion secreted by the intercalated cell will be accepted by this anion to form beta hydroxybutyric acid, which is a weak acid. Effect is that the strong acid gets converted into weak acid, and so it is buffered, so there is no change of or very minimal change of the pH of the tubular fluid, though there is secretion or an excretion of excess H plus ion. So the main contribution of the titrable acidity normally in the physiological condition is the phosphate buffer, but the buffering capacity of the renal tubule, that is the distal part of the nephron, by the phosphate buffer or the titrable acidity with the help of phosphate buffer is up to certain limit. Beyond certain limit, the titrable acidity cannot be increased, and so when there is severe metabolic acidosis from any reason, then in order that blood pH is maintained, the kidney has to excrete more H plus ions, but at the same time this H plus ion, whatever is secreted, it should be buffered adequately so that the pH of the tubular fluid should not reach 4.5. And since the buffering capacity of the distal part of the nephron by the phosphate buffer is limited, hence comes the role of the ammonia buffer, where the rate of excretion of ammonia in form of ammonium ion, particularly in severe acidotic condition, can be increased 5 to 10 times, so that there is excess excretion of H plus ion in the urine, but still the pH of the tubular fluid does not reach below 4.5. Then only the excess excretion of H plus ion can continue, and hence there is important role of renal ammonia genesis and ammonia excretion. This renal ammonia genesis and ammonia excretion we'll see in next class. Thank you very much.